Thanks everybody for being here at the songwriting workshop this afternoon. Our guest is Vinny Ribas. Vinny is an artist manager and founder, CEO of Indie Connect, an online resource that offers management, consulting, and training for independent artists. Vinny is also the developer of Cartney.com, a program designed to help artists and songwriters navigate the music industry without making costly mistakes or getting scammed. His history includes booking agent, entertainment director of the Nevada State Fair, songwriting, studio owner, and producer. He's an author, a speaker, strategic business consultant, and music industry consultant. His topic for today is 50 creative ways to promote your songwriting or making money with it. So I'm going to pass this over to Vinny, and take it away, Vinny. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys letting me come on here because this is something that I'm kind of passionate about. What I realized is that a lot of songwriters and artists don't realize all the opportunities that are available to them. And so I have three main things that I like to get across. And if it's okay, I'm going to share the screen. So I'm going to talk about ways to promote your music, promote your songs or your songwriting. And what I'm going to be giving you is all different kinds of opportunities that exist, because this is what's, to me, the most important goals to get across. Anytime you hear music, somebody somewhere was looking for it. You think about that. Think about all the times wherever you go, whether you're in your car, you go to a store, you walk down the down the street, downtown, whatever, somebody is creating music for those venues, or somebody is looking for music for that. You pick up a product, somebody is looking for music for that. So what you have to do is you have to recognize that there are opportunities everywhere for this, everywhere. And then also understand that not every song is going to be, you're going to get just royalties for. There are a lot of different ways that you can make arrangements. And I don't know what happened to the rest of the slide, but I'll go through some of them. You can get paid royalties. You can in some places, like for jingles and stuff like that, they may want to just buy out the copyright. You can barter your songwriting with somebody. You can exchange it for marketing. You can co-write with people, and everybody gets a chance to market it and everything. There's a lot of different ways that you can get reimbursed for it, or sometimes the only reason you're doing it is because it's going to put you in a place where you're going to be recognized. Either the songs will be recognized, or you'll be recognized as a good songwriter, and it'll open up opportunities. So what you're going to see here, and I actually increased it to 60, I think, different things on here, and I'll go through them fast because it can get pretty boring when you just kind of repeat, just one thing after the other. But my idea is not that you will pick up, a bunch of these and just go off and make a whole lot of money, but that you're going to recognize some of them are traditional things that you're going to do anyway. You've been taught them for years. Others are ways that you haven't thought about. And it's like, I got to think outside the box. Maybe I have a contact that can help me with this. This is somebody I never thought about presenting my songwriting to, or this is an opportunity I never thought about presenting my songwriting to. So it's really about getting you to think outside the box with your writing and say, who else could use my songs? Where else could I pitch them? Who can I write for? Who would need songs? Who doesn't know that I'm a songwriter that probably uses songs? This is what I'm going after in this. Because, we often get stuck in just the idea of we got to find a publisher, and that's the only way we're going to get it out there. So again, you'll find a lot of these are very traditional things that you would normally do, and I just put them in there because you can't forget about them. But a lot of them are going to be things that you may never have thought about, and it can make a big difference for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And see, I don't think I can do this and watch the chat. Um, so if people have questions, please, I guess, put them in the chat or save them till afterwards, because I don't know how to go ahead and do this at the same time. So here we go. So obviously, something that you guys all do, you attend songwriting events, conferences, retreats, meetup groups, whatever, and network, and showcase your songs. Showcase, either performing them or just like with this event, showcase showcase your songs, get critiques. And for a lot of events, if you're going out and going to songwriter retreats and stuff, the goal to me is always to attract some good co-writers and maybe some artists who are looking for songs. So, you have to have the right mindset. It's one thing to go and watch great songwriters and appreciate what they're doing. But, when I go to events, whether it's a songwriter night, because I'm, based out just outside of Nashville, go to a songwriter night, I'm looking for co-writers. That's what I want. I want people to recognize my writing and want to co-write with me. And I want to find people who are strong at the things that I'm not strong about. And you don't have to take notes on all of this. I will, give anybody who wants it, I'll give them a PDF of this. Um, so you can, again, you can do showcases. You can invite publishers and industry professionals to your own showcase. I have done this for artists that I manage. And so, I invited a couple of times. I've had, up to 100 people in the room from the industry there to listen to songs, listen to my artists, and that always came out really well. Obviously you have to have some contacts or have somebody that can do that for you sometimes, but it is a good thing. Now we'll get into some of the other interesting things. Offer to write and record custom personalized songs for weddings, birthdays, retirements, anniversaries, any other special occasions. You can get paid really well for this. Back in the 90s, I would make $250 to write a special song for somebody, to write it and record it in my home studio. And people love it. So, there's a lot of ways that you can do this, but people absolutely love anything that's personalized, and there aren't very many opportunities for them to get a song written. Variety artists such as magicians, clowns, jugglers, they use music. Sometimes they need a theme song. Magicians often need original instrumental music to use during their act. So a lot of people think that a magician will get the music to fit their act. That actually works the other way around. They find music that they love that has a lot of buildups and accents in it, and then they write their act around that. So, they choreograph the whole show around the music. So that means if you write instrumental, if you compose instrumentals, and sometimes it could be, songs with lyrics, that, you have a good chance that that there's going to be some kind of a variety artist that could use that music. They like it upbeat, they like it fun. But you could write a theme song for somebody too. And, a lot of them will never even think about that, but a song that goes on when they walk on stage or something would be a great opportunity. Jingles are everywhere. And what most people don't think about is you can write a jingle for a business that you hear advertising on the radio who doesn't have a jingle. It could be on TV. And you don't even have to ask them. You can write it first and then present it to them, because sometimes they can't picture it. And if you say, I want to write a jingle for you, they don't really know what that's going to do for them. But if you can write something catchy, or if you have a song that has a chorus that fits perfectly with them, present the finished recording, or at least a good demo, and then offer to sell it to them. Again, selling could be anything. So selling could be that you're going to get licenses off of it when it plays on the radio or something like that. Most businesses realize that jingles sell a whole lot more than just plain advertising. And so you really want to take advantage of that. Uh, you can even look on social networks and find businesses that could use jingles. And jingles can be any genre. They can be, catchy little ditties, or they could be a little bit more serious. It doesn't matter. Um, Jingles are a great place because you can make really good money with that. And if you're get known as a jingle writer, I know people that write jingles and write and record them in 15 minutes, a half hour, and can make $1,500 for it. So you can get paid really well for that. Um, Podcasts use intros, they use outros, they use snippets to be included in the podcast. So especially if it's got a theme to it, that theme that goes along with the uh, with the title of the podcast or the theme of the podcast. And you can pitch it the same way that you do for jingles. You can actually, write it, record it, and then send it to them to be used. Do it in a way that they can't download it, obviously, unless they buy it from you or license it from you. It could be just a licensing deal. I didn't mention that earlier, but podcasts, because they're so popular right now, they have to have something that makes them stand out, that makes people want to listen to them in the first 7 seconds. A good intro would be awesome. And then, if you write these little snippets that go in between a 15-second snippet, a 10-second snippet, they will buy those. Radio stations buy them too. They want things that are fillers. They finish a song and they've got 10 seconds to fill. They can't put a commercial in there. They'll throw, a little ditty in there. So that's a good way to go. Script writers. So you can connect with people who are writing plays or scripts. You can find them online. You can find them at a local writers group, like a meetup group, something like that. You can offer to write a song or two for their productions, or, if you're a composer, you can also talk about composing the music behind it. There are a lot of meetup groups for filmmakers in just about every city. But the good part about doing a lot of this online is that people can be anywhere. And they a lot of times the writers have no idea where to go to get music for their projects. And so if you can make it known that you do that, and you can write things specifically for a scene or for a theme song or something like that, you can, obviously that's a great reputation to have, and the word will spread fast. Same thing with producers and directors. If you go to a local film club or organization, you can meet them and offer to write songs, submit music to them for their productions. Especially when they do documentaries. A lot of them who do documentaries, are just looking for good songs that fit to put behind the music, and they can have lyrics and everything. They don't have to be instrumentals. And you can find producers and directors in a lot of other places. You can find them online and everything, but you get to actually build build a rapport with them, and get to know them personally. Probably your local cable access would be another way to do that, because like here in Nashville, we've got cable access that has we have a huge studio, and anybody basically can come in and use the studio as long as you take a couple of classes on how to use the cameras. And they put out some really great productions and everything. But it's a great opportunity to meet people who are doing projects that might need music. And documentaries aren't the only kind of film, obviously. So this to me is one that's often overlooked. You can find singers who don't write. And I'll talk about the weak writer later, but you can find singers who are not great writers, and you can offer to co-write with them or even teach them how to improve their writing. And and then what's going to happen is you get a cut, because that, they want to record things that they've written themselves. So it works naturally. You can find them going to just see people perform, people who are performing live, but you can also find them on social media. There is a publisher here in town. I don't know. Have you had Bob Della Posta on? If not, I need to introduce you to Bob. Bob is a publisher here in town, and what he does is he goes online and he'll look up Russian country singers, and he'll find people who are singing country music. And I'm just using country, it could be any genre, but I'm looking for people who are singing covers in Russia who have good voices, and he'll email them and say, I love your voice. I'm a Nashville publisher, and I'm wondering if you were looking for any original songs. And they're like, wow, a Nashville publisher contacted me. And he ends up licensing the song. He often licenses the track. I mentioned that again later here. And sometimes even the sheet music for it. And he does this day in and day out. So, you can find singers who don't write or are weak writers. And there we go. And the same thing, obviously find serious and up and coming singers who are just doing covers, just like I talked about there. And you can invite them to record your songs. Obviously, you could write with them if you wanted to. But you can also write songs specifically for them. There are a lot of singers that would love to have original songs, and you can say, based on the kind of music that you're doing and the voice that you have, I'd love to write some songs for you. You never know where those are going to go. And if you have songs already and and it's something that they might want to record, you can license your track to them. And that way they don't have to go into the studio. So cover singers and singers who don't write are just, it's a ripe market to go to. Video producers, video production houses often write. You can contact them and offer to write music for their productions. Many of them need music for corporate videos, for documentaries, for weddings and other parties, for commercials. I mean, that's what they're called on to do. So video production houses, and there's quite a few of them in every city. They're always looking for music, looking for good writers, people who can write very specifically for very targeted projects and everything. So I would never leave them out. Schools, so you can contact schools, high schools, grammar schools, colleges, it doesn't matter. Especially the ones that have drama or film classes, and offer to write music for student projects. If the school doesn't have a theme song, you can write a song for that as well. You can write a song for the cheerleaders. You can write a song for for a variety show. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can tap into schools and write for them or with them. Web designers often, they're designing websites for businesses, and if they could upsell them with a jingle, they would love it, because they can charge quite a bit to add a jingle that you produce for them. And so web designers, are probably the most direct way that you'll reach a lot of small businesses that could give you, $250, $500 for a jingle. And it could be literally, a 10-second, 5-second jingle, something like that. Web designers also work with artists. They design them for artists and songwriters and everything. So they may be able to introduce you to other people who need songs. They're just great people to know because they're in touch with people who need music. Products. Think of all the products that you've ever had that have music built into them. So you can contact product designers who are called industrial designers and even patent attorneys and, make it known that you can write music for their products. Um, what products that need them or want them. And think about, you've got alarm clocks and doorbells and children's toys and greeting cards and the list goes on and on and on. There's a toothbrush that plays, another one bites the dust. I mean, there all kinds of products use songs, and it's just, it's an endless area. Now, where do you find them? Obviously you can reach people that way. I'll talk a little bit later about going directly to inventors, and that would be another way. So production houses. So there are a lot of production houses like Jingle Punks that create music for film, TV, radio, and brands. And some of them will have in-house people, and you can get a job doing that. And some people will have, they will license tracks, and they make them available. Sometimes in a library, but they make them available, or they produce specifically for different, film, radio, brands and stuff like that. So these production houses are are exactly who you would go to for those kind of projects. They're usually not songs so much as snippets and jingles and stuff like that. But for film and stuff, a lot of times for film, it'll be all we want is a chorus. We just need a chorus because we're only gonna have 30 seconds to put it in, and it's going to be put behind a jukebox. So keep the vocals low, and they need people that can create music specifically like that. Nonprofits. You can contact nonprofits and offer to write theme songs for them to use in commercials. Um, if they have an about video, they might want to have a song in that. They can put it on their website. If you have a video, they can put it on their website. If it has to do with their with what their mission is, or in audio presentations. There's a lot of ways that nonprofits can use songs. I mean, just think about, you know, the ASPCA, was it? That had In the Arms of an Angel in the background and stuff. Nonprofits are always using music because it gives an emotional tie. So it could be something that you've already written, and it could also be something that you write for them. But they definitely look for it, and they will promote it. They'll put it on their website, and a lot of these bigger companies, they get a lot of traffic on there. And it's just a matter of, in this case, you probably wouldn't get paid so much as you would be recognized as the songwriter, and um, that would be a very valuable recognition. Ad agencies, basically anyone who who does marketing, you can offer to write jingles for them. You can record some demos first if you don't have experience doing this, so they have something to judge your quality by. But ad agencies are constantly looking for for writers, and you just have to prove that you can do it, and you have to prove that you can do it quickly and right on point. So it's got to be you got to be clever to come up with a short snippet that will get the message across, or be able to be sing-songy enough with a title or a phone number or something like that. But ad agencies are a great place to go. This is one that people don't normally think about. You can contact all kinds of speakers through your local branch of the National Speakers Association, Toastmasters. There's meetup groups for speakers. And I would actually go there, and I would find people who want songs as a theme song to be introduced by. Some might be singers and want something for a speech. They might want music for their courses, for their ebooks, for their audiobooks, for video productions. A lot of them do courses and workshops and stuff like that, and the music would be good. Um, I have an artist that I'm working with right now that writes motivational music, and I think I talk a little bit more about this later. But we've got her opening for speakers, and she can sell her music from there. So it's a great opportunity, and speakers are the kind of people that don't necessarily think about the music until you present something to them that they can add to a course. They can use it as an upsell if they want to. If you've got a CD that is in line with what they talk about. Inventors, most communities have a local inventors club, and that's where you can meet inventors who might need jingles. Not all of them are going to be right for that, obviously, but sometimes a jingle, you can write a jingle. I've seen this that helps an investor presentation because it helps to get a point across about the product. Anyone who's selling a product, you can offer your music as a download, something that they can upsell as a bonus. Theme music works great for this. So I use the example in here, buy these books about this book about gardening and receive this free CDs of songs to garden by or nature songs or whatever. Home shopping networks definitely need upsells. Everybody needs an upsell, and or it could be a bonus. So, like I said, you buy this and get this free CD or whatever. You can reach a lot of people this way. Speakers and authors will use them to sell more books. A lot of them will include your music, even if it's just a one song CD or whatever, include it right in the book, in the cover of the book. And it's just another way to get your music out there. Are these making sense? Am I boring everybody? Because there's so many different opportunities out there. Um, Authors often will let you write some songs about their topic and include the music within the book, but also authors might be interested in taking their book and turning it into a screenplay. And so by making it known that you write songs, you may have an opportunity to write for that. Filmmakers, you can find them on LinkedIn or Facebook group or independent filmmakers groups, and pitch your music for sync. So you can write for them, but you can also pitch songs that you have, and you can go straight to the filmmakers. A lot of the filmmaker conferences out there have panel discussions with music supervisors, so you can pitch directly to the music supervisors, who are the ones that are placing the songs in film. And I didn't even put music supervisors on here, but that's a way that you can get it out there. I've seen people write like generic wedding songs and put them on a website, and people pay to download them because brides are, and this is just generic, this is not custom, but brides are often looking for something that's unique for their ceremony, for their first dance, for the dollar dance. They like to have their wedding stand out from everybody else. And so there are people that make a lot of money selling these, very, very, um, very targeted songs. And it doesn't have to just be weddings. You can do this for any kind of ceremony, any kind of thing like that. Personalized songs. If you can advertise that you write personalized songs for wedding couples and engaged couples, and many will pay extra, or they'll pay well. And you can charge extra if you'll assign the copyright. So it could be just a license, but you upsell them with them owning it. And when I used to do this, I had a questionnaire for them to fill out about themselves, and I would use that as the basis for the song. And I had two ways of doing this. I would either write a custom song for them, or I had tracks already done and we would write a unique melody and lyrics over the tracks. And I know somebody who does this and they actually have the majority of the song all written out and they just change a couple of lines in it to personalize it. So it really takes them absolutely no time. They've recorded everything other than these lines. So there's a lot of ways to do that, but personalized songs for any reason, um, you know, are really incredible. It could be bar mitzvahs, it could be, like I said, weddings, it could be anniversaries, it could be retirements. There's a lot of different ways that that can work. Writing songs for special sentiments, um, and basically building a website on it. And of course, you don't have to write all the songs. You could find other songs that you include in this, or you all get together and each one of you has a song about it. Either, will you marry me? Thank you for being my friend. I'm sorry I hurt you. All of these sentiment songs, and you're selling those for people who are looking for a way to express themselves. It's kind of like buying a greeting card, a musical greeting card. Uh, Comedy. If you can write funny songs, even 20 to 30-second songs, radio stations use them, blogs use them, podcasts use them. They work great when they reflect current events. Uh, Getting it into one station might create a demand from other stations or sister stations. Uh, so it can be very, very lucrative. They are not usually really, really super produced. It could be just guitar and vocals, something like that. But it's, they always look for something that's going to set them apart from the other stations. And something like this works great. You could do it with college stations. You could do it with, any independent stations, tertiary stations, and you may be able to get it. If you know a programmer at a major station, you may be able to get it in there too. Musical greeting cards, basically, kind of what I mentioned before. Uh, you can you can write songs that people would want to give or sell to somebody else, like a birthday song or something like that, um, and put them online and sell them. Ringtones, people still buy ringtones. There are websites that you sell your ringtones through. So maybe you have a song that has a great chorus and you just pull that hook line out, um, and people want to use that, or it could be the instrumental intro to your song. There's a lot of different things that people will buy for ringtones, and so that's another way to get your money out there or get your songs out there. Self-help songs and motivational songs, inspirational songs. These are huge, and speakers like to include them with their recordings. Uh, and I mentioned earlier how I've got artists that are opening up for speakers, um, and actually getting the speakers to co-write with them on some of the lyrics so that the speakers have a reason to get the songs out there. And they could be love songs. It could be basically any song that a speaker has, that when they have a special topic for. It could even be business songs and stuff like that. But self-help is such a huge market, and people buy the motivational songs, inspirational songs, anything that's positive. You can create playlists and charge for access to them. There's a lot of ways to make that happen. You can submit your songs to music related podcasts and to music related blogs for inclusion or review. And there's a lot of them out there that review independent music. And so that's a good way to get your music out there and get uh, your songwriting out there. You can create a playlist. I know somebody that did this. They created a playlist from local songwriters and and then offered it to a nonprofit to use, where people paid to have access to it as a fundraiser, and it worked really well. So it was just something I figured I'd throw in here. I don't know how many people would do this, but specialized playlists work. And even if you don't make it as a nonprofit, give it to a nonprofit or something, creating a specialized playlist and then that you promote and put your songs in the middle of it is huge, because you can add playlists from major artists, but then you have yours right in there. And as long as it's usually a themed playlist. You can't say hits of the 80s and your song is in there if it wasn't a hit in the 80s. But if you have something that's, songs about money, and you have a song about money, you can do that. You can find other songs. Message songs like socially conscious songs or political songs, um, you can sell and promote them. You can perform them at rallies or other related events. Um, People are always looking for that political songs. I'm working with an artist who has a political song out right now. And we're actually he's Republican, and he's actually got some interest from the Trump camp to actually come and perform at some of his events, which is just, it's crazy to me. But I mean, that's big money. There's big money there. So message songs, socially conscious songs are great. And again, those kind of things also make great playlists. I just kind of threw this one in there. If you have the ability to do voiceovers, you can offer to do voiceovers for wedding videos, for ads too. But make it as part of your package. If you're selling, something that's custom, offer to do voiceover with it. You can pitch your songs to nonprofits to be played on TV or radio, in a commercial. It works for organizations that are fundraising. I kind of touched on this. A lot of this, there's going to be a lot of overlap and everything. But this is really, I have artists that I have put a package together with who have a mission behind their music. And I've connected them with nonprofits who they then become spokespeople for the nonprofit. So the nonprofit's promoting their music, and they are doing commercials for them, and they are writing songs for them. And it's a great, great relationship. And so nonprofits, there's a lot of ways to get it out there. Sync services, there are a lot of services out there. Musicsupervisor.com is one that, they are very actively pursuing placements, as opposed to Broadjam is another one. I saw one of the song submissions was on Broadjam, where they have a team that goes out and gets people to come and listen to the music. They're trying to get the pitches. That is, that's the optimum as far as those services are concerned, because you also have sync libraries. And the libraries are more where you submit your songs and it sits there. And then, somebody needs a video or music for a wedding video. They're going to come on there and they're going to license it. Or in some places like Soundstripe, they hire composers full time. And I don't know how many users they have, but it's in the hundreds of thousands that, people pay like $79 a year to license any of their music that they want. They can use any of their music. And so there's libraries like that you might be able to get work with, or you might be able to submit your music to. And they're not as aggressive in going out and getting the supervisors to listen to the music. They're more for your wedding photographers, your videographers that are doing, you know, somebody who just needs music for a documentary or for a corporate video or something like that. They go to these libraries to get that. Religious songs, praise and worship songs, obviously for your church or house of worship. And this is just very generic when I say praise and worship, any songs that go along with whatever you believe. Word can spread quickly to other churches that you're a talented songwriter. I was working on the worship team of a church back in Reno, And the husband and wife that were running that were the worship leaders wanted to record some of their originals. So we actually invited the entire church to come and hear a concert of all the originals. We recorded the originals. They paid for the concert, which then paid for the recording. And we did it in September and told people they'd have it in time for Christmas. So people were buying it for Christmas presents for their friends. And so we got a great live album out, and word got out really quickly. And then some of those songs were picked up by other churches. So anywhere that you can get your songs someplace where they could go viral, not necessarily just on social media, but any place like that, um, that makes a big difference. Personalized songs where you actually perform them, or you have somebody with you that performs them. Um, this can be at a wedding ceremony, graduation, it doesn't matter, Valentine's Day. You charge for the performance. You can then give them access to the song online, or give them free copies of the song, or you can charge if they want to actually have the song. And you can do this, all day long, every day of the year. Um, this is one that I've seen people do. Write a song about your region, and you think about Sweet Home Alabama and how much that's used in Alabama. It's even on the signs as you go down I-65 and enter Alabama from Tennessee. The sign says Sweet Home Alabama. Um, and offer it to your local chamber of commerce or any website that's promoting your region. You can record a music video. You can record a lyric video that they can put on their website. People from around the world will hear it, and especially if you're in a tourist destination. So, I've seen this happen many times, and it's a great way to get your songs and your songwriting out there. And they love it. If somebody writes a song about the local region, people are going to promote it. Local businesses might promote it on their websites. And again, especially if you're in a tourist area. Current affairs. You can write songs about current affairs or social issues and offer them to radio or TV to use as a standalone or behind a news related news story or a documentary, or in conjunction with any of these. These are always popular, usually when they're shorter, and they really hammer home a point. They usually, unless you're, if it's political, you could get a little controversial or something, but just, commentary on social issues sometimes are really popular. And the radio station or somebody might recommend it to you, to somebody who's doing an ad or something like that. Children's songs. A lot of people don't realize how much money there is in children's songs. Whether you're doing it for, sing-along songs, um, and you sell them to schools and church groups, youth groups, parents, and parties like that. You can put albums together, compilations together. You can have playlists of them, and just promote the playlist so your songs get out there. But then you also have TV shows that use them. Um, a good friend of mine wrote a ton of songs for Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Um, and it's just, there is a lot of money there. There are always children. Um, and there's no limit to the places that would buy them or that would use them. Uh, Daycare centers, and, just, writing music that a daycare center can put on. I don't have any of this in here, but, while the kids are going to sleep, or a doctor's office, writing music for a doctor's office, things like that. There's a lot of options like that. Corporate videos, marketing companies. They're usually the ones that are asked to put the corporate videos together. Production companies as well. A lot of times they're both together, but marketing companies. and they usually have to hire people to develop the corporate videos. And if you can let them know that you write songs specifically for that you can write a song for one of their projects, it might be really valuable for you. They would definitely license that. And I know several people that write with one of the marketing companies here, and they're the ones that are called on to do these kind of projects. So if somebody wants just some corporate music, whether it's instrumental or with words, with lyrics, they're the ones that are called on. So, and a lot of these, you're not going to be able to do as a one-off. You're going to want to build a relationship with people to get in. Again, my whole goal behind this is just to get you thinking outside the box and recognizing all the places that use music. So, if you offer to write songs for content creators, you can go online and find content creator singers who are doing all the cover songs. You can write theme songs for somebody. You can write, especially if they have a certain kind of content, comedy content or something like that. You can write background music for them to use. Just look, if you go scrolling through Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter, and look at all the different kinds of content, and it can inspire you to write songs. But you can also find somebody, I bet they'd love this song, and it might be something that they just would promote because it goes along with what they're saying or what they believe. So that's a good thing. Youth songs for camps, for youth groups and stuff like that. These are all great opportunities, especially if you have, lyric books and stuff like that for them. I know that a lot of youth now are, they'll still sing pop songs and stuff like that. But if you can write specific songs for them that fit with the theme of the camp, for example, you've got a great opportunity there. Obviously, I mean, this is something that not everybody's going to do, but you can go busking and sell your music in public, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people will perform only covers, but then they include their originals in with the cover album that they're selling. And people still do buy CDs, especially um, people who still have CD players in their car, like me, or people who are in a tourist area. You can start your own social media account on each platform dedicated and to promoting your songs and songwriting. Um, but one of the things that I really like is on TikTok. And maybe you're not going to do this, but you're going to get someone to do it. But they have something called duets. And what that is you sing one part of it, and then you invite somebody else to come in and sing the second half, or sometimes you're playing piano and they sing the lead or something. But I've seen some really amazing things when people write part of a song and then say, you write the next verse, and other songwriters will come on and write the next verse. And it becomes really popular because you've got 500 people that are doing this, and you pick the best version and you record that, and you can put that on Spotify, and all of a sudden you've got this huge following behind it. You can also find people who have songs like that, and you can write a verse with them. So it's just something that I've noticed out there. Obviously, collaborating with songwriters, writing up um, is huge. If you have people who have followings, that's great. Um, I always look at co-writing as there being three main reasons to co-write. One is because you want to write up, you want to improve your songwriting. Another is because you're together, you've got more people promoting the song. And then another is because if one person makes it, the song gets a single song contract, you're brought along with it. And sometimes, that makes a world of difference. My friend Rand Bishop um, wrote the song, he co-wrote the song My List, which, if you're familiar with country music, it was Country Song of the Year in 2012. That song sat on a demo for 9 years. And then his co-writer got a publishing deal with Toby Keith's publishing company. And Toby said, bring some other songs so we can start promoting some things right now. So this is one of the songs he brought. Toby loved it. He tried to get it he tried to pitch it. He couldn't get anyone else to record it, so we recorded it himself. And 11 years after it was written, it became a #1 song and song of the year. So the more songs you have out there with different co-writers and stuff, the more chances you have of your songs being picked up and getting known. You can start your own internet radio station. You can start your own playlists. You can start your own podcast, put your songs in the mix. Having a theme to whatever you're doing is big, but is very useful because that's how you attract people to it. But you can do that. Obviously, entering reputable songwriting contests is, the hard part is finding just the ones that are reputable. I'm not going to go into all of that. This is something, these are just kind of extras that I have here, but this is something that I saw Subway do back when they first began. They ran a jingle contest. Their theme was when you're hungry, make tracks for Subway. And they had a melody for it, but they wanted to get everybody involved in it. So they had a contest where they invited bands to record it and submit it. And they played them everywhere. I mean, these people got to vote on the different ones. And you had bunches of bands and everybody got in on it. Everybody was waiting for the next jingle to come up and everything, next version of it. And it was so much fun. And it works out great. And so it's just something, if you can talk to a local company, if you can write something for them that they can do a contest with or something, works great. I mentioned duets. You can co-write a song on there. The online groups, like this, but also, places where you can showcase your writing that people don't think about. There's a songwriting industry group and a lot of other songwriting groups on LinkedIn. I happen to own that one. It's got 30,000 members. It's very active. It's a good place. There are countless groups on Facebook and others on LinkedIn. You can search not only local social networks, but you can search other ones like VK in Russia. You can join those. So getting the word out that way, getting your music out can be really interesting because you never know. You never ever know who's going to see it. Online forums like Just Plain Folks and the Songwriters Forum, Christian Writers Songwriting Network. A lot of times you can use those to connect with writers and some who have credits, and who would be great co-writing partners. And I've probably written 30 songs off of Just Plain Folks. I did it a long time ago, but I mean, I've written songs with people from all over the world, and some of them are pretty good. I mean, I found songs that were great, people who were great lyricists, which at the time wasn't my strength. And I had the whole studio to be able to record stuff, and we're still pitching some of those right now. You can pay for online ads to promote your music on social media, and they generate a lot of traffic. Another way is Google ads. Obviously everything else on here doesn't really cost you anything. It's more effort based, but you can do that. Another way to work with nonprofits is to find ones that have a theme, such as AA, because they use, they hand out all kinds of books and literature and stuff like that, but they also have music that walks you through the 12 steps or, anything like that. So any kind of nonprofit that has a message where you could write things that would reinforce the message. I never belonged to AA, but I had two friends that were in the program, had been in the program, and they asked me to write with them an entire album on AA. This is going back again into the 90s. But we wrote a whole AA themed album that we had out there. So it's, I know it works, but if you can find somebody that you're some group that you're passionate about, you can do that. You can commemorate all kinds of holidays and radio programs and podcasts and everything. They will play them. One thing that I love about Christmas songs, besides them being timeless, is that they play every year. And so you make money off of those if they're in TV or new ones. And they seek new ones out every year. Um, and something you should know is that, like, a lot of Christmas songs are pitched and recorded early in the year, but um, soap operas use songs right up until Christmas Day. They're looking for songs because they record every single day, and then they record today and edit tonight and put the show out tomorrow. So they're looking for Christmas songs right up until to Christmas. Um, so you can get patriotic songs out there, and radio will play it from Memorial Day or 4th of July or Veterans Day. Spooky songs, Valentine's Day, spooky songs for Halloween. I mean, just get them out in time for them to actually plug them in. But podcasts will definitely play them. Blogs, you can get them on blogs. Independent radio is a great place to put them. And then there are a lot of other placement opportunities. I didn't get to fill this out, but video games use music, sporting events use music. I know I have a friend who has a company, and he brings artists in, you pay for it, to do all the NASCAR events. You come and play for NASCAR parties. You play when the drivers are entering the place and everything, and it costs you money, but you make the money back after like 2 events. Political rallies. There's just a lot of placement opportunities out there. And so that's all I had. The whole idea was, again, just to get you to think outside the box. Is there, is there somebody that I know who does marketing that needs to know that I'm a songwriter? Is there somebody that I know that designs websites that needs to know that I'm a songwriter? Is there someone I know who has a podcast that would, because he's a friend, would let me would play one of my songs? So there's opportunities everywhere.